I found this movie, and surprisingly, it is not. It was done in 2023. It went to Cannes in 2024, and it premiered this year.
Cannes.
Premiered this year. Cannes. I'm from South Carolina. So it premiered this year, and it's got Pedro Pascal and Ben Mendelsohn and Tom Hanks.
Freaky Tales?
Freaky Tales. Yes.
Amazon keeps suggesting that to me. And yes, I have seen Sinners. Come on now. Amazon keeps suggesting that to me.
It shouldn't, because, okay, you've seen Pulp Fiction, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now imagine it was not as good as Pulp Fiction.
So 2 Days in the Valley.
Imagine it was not that good either.
Oh.
Okay.
So anything by Guy Ritchie.
We're getting there.
Get me in trouble.
We're getting there. I do not understand how they got they got Tom Hanks. They got a full 3 minutes out of Tom Hanks. Who did he owe a favor to?
You have to remember, Tom Hanks started out doing slapstick comedy.
Well, yeah, but he's Tom Hanks now.
Like the kids don't know, because Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks, multiple Oscar winner history guy now. Tom Hanks, one of his first job was literally the alcoholic uncle on Family Ties. Then he did, oh my God, why can't I remember the name of the show? The show where he and Peter Scolari needed an apartment.
Bosom Buddies.
And the only open apartment... was a building that was women only, so they did drag. Yeah,
the problematic cross-dressing show that has gotten only worse as time has gone on. But still, I mean, it's like at this point, he's Tom Hanks. You got to pay him.
Yeah.
So, I don't understand. There's no money. There's no money in this movie. There's no money anywhere. I don't know where.
He doesn't need money anymore because he's Tom Hanks. Now he can just around and do whatever he wants.
Yes, but it's so bad, though. All right. Here,
it did.
spoilers.
Like, I read the quick synopsis, and it did seem
bad. All right. They completely waste Pedro Pascal,
which is a crime.
Tara, spoilers. If you actually care about this, Tara, a basketball player makes Ben Mendelsohn explode with his mind.
Oh.
And that Tom Hanks is also in this movie. It's just yes.
I didn't know Tom Hanks was in it. That when I read like the quick synopsis, the Pedro Pascal of it threw me for a curveball because he's not exactly hurting for work right now.
And somehow this is yet another movie where Pedro Pascal ends up doing the lone wolf and cub thing with another kid. Somehow.
Does he survive? Because he's getting to be the new Sean Bean.
He survives, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is just
like Pedro Pascal has taken Star Wars. He's about to take Marvel. He has taken video game adaptations. No one is safe from Pedro Pascal, and thank God, because who would want to be?
Let's get on to less entertaining weird shit, although in its own way. Each week, Catherine and the Radio Dead audience go out on the worldwide interwebs, find all sorts of horrible stuff, bring back here for a little segment we like to call What the Fuck is Wrong with You? Oh, and briefly, just so you guys can see, we've got two cats. We've got just fur blobs back there. Look at those idiots. Hello there.
You have as many cats as I do now.
I know we do. It was not my idea. All right. So, first of all, I swear to God, someone sent me this and I'm like, no, we already did this one. And I looked again and I'm like, are you shitting me? Tara, do you remember not a few weeks ago, the woman who brought Jello shots to the elementary school?
Yeah.
That was in Texas. It fucking happened again. Just briefly touching on this one, kindergartner brought Jello shots to school, gave them out to students. Pennsylvania schools launched an investigation after it said a kindergartner brought Jello shots to class, calling it an isolated incident. The press release signed by Superintendent Dr. Amy D. Arcurio said immediate action was taken when staff became aware of the incident. The affected students were evaluated by a school nurse. Isolated incident, my ass. Twice now.
I could see this happening in Texas since teaching people things is basically illegal there.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
But it depends on what part of Pennsylvania. I don't know where Johnstown is in Pennsylvania.
If I had a nickel for every time an elementary school passed out Jello shots, I'd have two nickels.
2 nickels. But it's weird that it happened twice.
It happened twice, yes. All right, let's move on.
They don't say how this time though. The kid could have stolen these.
They don't say how, but all right. So let's move on to our first robbery of the week. Man, there is a time in your life. There's this little weird bordering time where you're trying to be like sexually active as a teenager and whatnot, but you're also trying to like do it on the down low, and everything is still really embarrassing and stigmatizing about it. So I kind of understand these poor bastards. But man, have you not heard of shoplifting? Because holy shit.
Where are we going?
Teens detained after condom robbery. Police chase. 3 teenage boys will be held in juvenile detention accused of stealing condoms, pointing a gun at people, and ramming into a police cruiser during a getaway. Boys face first-degree robbery charges. Another faces reckless driving and unlawful possession of a firearm after police recovered a stolen loaded shotgun from the getaway car. Court documents say police found 3 underage girls in the back of the car, of course. One of them was reported missing out of Kent. Yeah. It's videos from convenience store. So one of the 16-year-old boys approached a cashier where he asked for 3 boxes of condoms, then took off. The property manager tried to stop the getaway car until another teen pointed a gun through the window. Fellas.
Here's my question about the reporting style here.
Yeah.
How old were the girls? Because underage girls and teenage boys might all be 16.
Yeah. Yeah. Or much more.
So unless the girls were like 10, they're framing it weird.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're framing it weird because, there's always the presumption that boys are old. They presume boys are older in terms of crime, but girls are innocent.
I think it's extremely notable that these underage women, which suggests teenagers to me, were definitely dressed as though they were going to be trafficked. Oh, teenage girls weren't wearing a lot while sneaking out?
Dude, all right, I'm just, this was your plan.
Yeah.
You had a shotgun. This is America in a nutshell here. You could get a shotgun, but not condoms.
Yeah, there it is. America.
you were able to get your hands on a firearm, but not a prophylactic.
Which is insane.
This was the plan here. It's like, have you never heard of shoplifting? My guy, my bro.
But also, like, lots of places hand out free condoms now.
Yeah, you know what it is, because they lock them all up now. Because I was like, back, it was back in our day, you could just go into the store and just like, whoop, that fell in my bag. Now they lock them up, so everything's behind. Which, and you look at that store, all the stuff that's not locked up, but the condoms are.
They probably got a display of guns on the back wall that you could just test drive. Because America. I was in the pharmacy at one point.
There.
Yeah. I was in a pharmacy at one point waiting in a long line for my prescription, and I was behind a mother and son, and like the stuff they had, they were obviously like getting him stuff to go to college. And the mom had, like, props to this mom. She had like the 100-pack of condoms, like the size of a tissue box, literally the size of a tissue box. And I'm like, one, good for you that you're not telling your kid go forth and be a virgin and unrealistically expecting that. But like, did you have to buy the jumbo size in the, like, you couldn't have picked that up on your way to the register? You had to stand in line with that with the kid, because that kid's eyes did not leave his shoes the entire time.
Lady, those expire, right? He's not going to use them all that fast. I mean,
but it just
got a
felt
high
like
estimation.
my child is going to use his dick. Everyone, my child is going to use his dick.
So this is why you might be inclined to steal them.
Yeah. Like overcorrecting, it's bad if you won't give your kids the condoms, but that was overcorrecting a little.
We're going to move from this theft to one that's I'm actually, holy shit. This is like some movie shit they pulled off. But when you find out what it's for, it's like, wow, what's wrong with us? This is from Pennsylvania. Like, holy crap here. Apple products stolen out of moving truck during heist on Pennsylvania Turnpike. From Fulton County, Apple products were stolen out of a trailer while they were being hauled on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Lorenzo Baduba, 24, of Washington, and Gabriel Chisio. I don't want to say this wrong, but
sorry, I'm tripped up because someone in the chat doesn't know that condoms expire. Yes, they do. Oh my God. Yes, they do.
Condoms, they have an expiration date. Don't fuck with them after. Break. It's on the condom. Don't fuck with them.
Literally, don't fuck with them after.
They're accused of stealing Apple devices from the truck while it was in transit. Troopers were made aware of the theft. They went to the Sidling Hill Travel Plaza in Taylor Township, inspected the trailer, seeing multiple open pallets had been rummaged through. Driver told troopers he picked up the load in Carlisle and didn't stop until getting to the plaza. Once the trailer was loaded, GPS tracker and bolt seal were installed. On his way to the turnpike, the driver reported seeing multiple vehicles following him. And when he merged on the turnpike, he noticed no one was passing him. According to charging documents, the driver believes the suspects were keeping traffic behind the truck so they could get into the trailer without anyone realizing. A box truck and sedan then went in front of the victim, causing him to brake hard and slow down. At some point, there was another sedan behind the victim that had its lights off, despite it being dark at the time. Driver then got to the rest area where he checked the trailer, saw the doors were closed, the seal was broken. State police say they were also able to watch a video recording from a stationary marked patrol cruiser, showed the victim's truck drive by with the trailer doors open and debris falling on the road. Box truck's lights were off. A total of $287,000 worth of Apple Watches and MacBooks were stolen. So
that's like 5 laptops.
That's
yeah.
Troopers were able to identify the vehicle with the help of the Pennsylvania Turnpike records. Through the store's surveillance video, social media, and phone records, Vaduva was identified as a suspect. Chiso and the U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement gave troopers a photo of him, matched the person who was shown at the Dollar General with Vaduva. Duo faces felony charges of theft and conspiracy. All right, they got caught, yeah, but props, yo.
But there were more than 2 people.
That's true. There, some of them got.
They mentioned at least like 5. They mentioned at least like 5 cars.
True, but apparently nobody snitched. So shut the fuck up. Friday.
Mean, honestly, I'm a little impressed.
This is like the iMac and the Furious. Yeah, Time Lord Soundwave. This is some movie shit.
Yeah.
Normally we have stories where these folks watch a movie and say like, oh, I could fucking do that. And it goes horribly wrong. This time they made off with $250,000 worth of Apple shit. I mean, you gotta be a little impressed.
I'm a lot impressed. Because also, like, how did they... someone had to physically jump from one moving vehicle to another on a highway, get the back and like onto basically a bumper, which is not big, and then get it open, and somehow they transported the stuff out.
And they had to resist the urge to record the whole thing on their phone. Because this is probably cool as fuck. Like, it was like, oh man, I got it. No. But if I put it on TikTok,
I can only assume that these guys have invented some type of short-range teleporting technology. Because otherwise, I don't know how somebody's not dead.
There's just some fucking, like I didn't know we still had criminals like this.
It's not Fast and Furious. It's Mad Max. MACS.
All right. Next up, this is less smart.
The I-Fury Road.
But consider that this wasn't like, a truck of gold bricks or like, a Wells Fargo. It was a truck hauling iPhones. And they still made off with $250,000. That says a lot about us right now. Anyway, so now on to Florida and something much more stupid. We joke about my girlfriend who lives in Canada. We joke about that. You wouldn't know her. She doesn't go here. We joke about that. It's because it's flimsy as fuck. You don't actually do it. You don't actually try that. Especially if you're not 63 years old. However, in Florida, you do. Villager crashes Tesla in roundabout and blames fictional girl driver.
What?
Villager crashed his Tesla in a roundabout and attempted to blame a fictional girl he claimed to have met at Brownwood.
Oh, it's capital V Villager. That explains a lot.
The villagers, yeah. A Wildwood police officer went to investigate the crash and found a witness who described the man who fled the scene on foot after requesting the witnesses not call law enforcement. Okay, the first thing, if you see somebody and say, man, don't call the cops, that's not going to work. Look, what you should do is you say, oh yeah, call the cops. You should encourage it, because then they'll be like, wait a minute, should I call the cops? They'll make it. You got to do reverse psychology on that one. Witness said the man fled into the village of Hawkins. The officer soon found 63-year-old Jeffrey Treadwell. Let's get that mugshot up there. There you are, Jeffrey. Of the village of Hawkins, who matched the description provided by the witness. When the officer asked about the crash, Treadwell immediately began to blame his girlfriend, claiming she had been behind the wheel. He said he wasn't sure where she had gone. Quote, she was driving, but she took off. He described her as, quote, a girl I met in Brownwood. He said her name was Stacy. She doesn't go here. You don't know her.
Where's her mom?
I don't know, but I've heard she has got it going on. It appears Treadwell had been drinking, suffered lacerations on both legs. You don't say. Officer took Treadwell back to the crash scene where they saw the vehicle's driver's side airbag deployed. The vehicle sustained extensive damage to the doors and locking system. Did not appear the passenger door had been opened. Officer concluded there had been no front seat passenger. There's also extensive damage to the roundabout, including the one-way signs and the road. Treadwell refused to provide a breath sample. Literally, I wonder if he's going to go all the way to court being like, Your Honor, Stacy, she fucked me over, man. I don't know where she went.
You have to find Stacy.
Yeah, she could be out there hurt and alone. You don't know. Like, motherfucker. Really? Really? He thought this really? Really? I also love that there's an entire...
What's Stacy's last name? Tesla?
I also love there's an entire villages-news.com.
I know. It
Just
probably is.
Do
they have like a whole STD section? Because the Villages, fun fact, are like the STD capital of America.
Yeah, I know, right?
If you want gonorrhea, the Villages.
Yeah, well, it's a
fucking petri dish.
It wasn't me. It was the one-armed girlfriend. Ishmo. That was terrible. That's hilarious, but it's terrible.
No one even claimed this story. It's by staff report.
Staff report, yeah. Good God. Have a little dignity. You know what? You're driving a Tesla. Just blame the car.
Right? Oh my God. And right there, all you had to do was say, I had it on self-drive.
Right. But then,
they can probably prove that.
Then you'll make Elon sad. He might not invite you to his birthday party.
Bonus. But you live in the Villages in Florida. You probably fucking love that guy.
Going to Vancouver for this one. Here is another robbery that I don't get. Like, first we had the condoms, now this. Look, you know what? Let's just jump into it because I have nothing. Give you the link here because fucking hell. He even took a couple sauces. Video shows suspect using machete to steal Donair meat from British Columbia restaurant. Tense moment inside a Donair restaurant. It's the big, and they have the big chunk of meat in the window, and they cut pieces off of it, and they make the pitas and stuff. Okay. Yeah, the big fucking yeah. Tense moment inside a Donair restaurant in Lower Mainland. Man, recently after a man barged behind the counter with a machete. Incident happened at Paradise Donair in New Westminster while two women were preparing food for some waiting customers. While the guy was cutting meat with the machete he brought, my employees just squeezed behind him and ran outside. We got video. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, here's the video of come on, load. There we go. Yeah, there's video. He gets behind the counter and just walks right over and he just starts cutting meat with the machete. Like, points for efficiency, my dude. I get it, but ew. And he's just loading his bag with meat. Not with money, with meat. Just hacking off meat. Owner says he even took a couple of sauces, like bottles. He forgot to take the pita bread, though. So
He's on keto.
Oh.
You can't have the pita bread.
Can't have carbs. No carbs. Oh, the
Just
incident
large
rattled.
chunks of meat. And fun fact, it actually has fewer calories if you hack it off with a machete, because that's manlier.
What are you going to do with a book bag full of meat?
I mean, we hope he's just going to eat it.
It could have gotten, yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
because he did also steal sauce.
Butterball was going to store it for winter, Lady Min Xiao.
We just hope he's going to eat it. We're all going to just decide that that's what he's going to do. Okay.
Butterball says, well, the meat is more valuable than the money. No, it's not. Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Well, okay. But if you're stealing money to buy food, just steal the food. Cut out the middleman. Or harder to trace once you've eaten it. No serial numbers.
Just, what are you doing? There's just, come on. It's a bag full of meat. What have you done with your life?
It's a bag full of meat.
And where has that machete been?
Yeah, because honestly, they have to throw away pretty much everything now.
Sam the Gray says, getting some real life Butcher Pete vibes. Yeah, well, he is hacking and whacking and smacking.
A fucking machete. If I saw, you have to get the machete in there, which means, he was just walking down a street wielding a fucking machete like a Canadian Jason Voorhees.
He had a ski mask, too.
That alone is a problem.
Well, here's another one that's a problem. This is from, where was this? Derbyshire. So yeah, this is over in the UK. This is another one that has happened again. I think this is maybe the third time. It's hard for me to keep track. So, if your kid comes home and says they need something for show and tell, you should probably supervise them before they take something from the house. School evacuated as grenade brought to show and tell.
That in your house where your kid can get it.
School is evacuated. An Army explosive expert called after a pupil unexpectedly produced a grenade from his pocket at a show and tell assembly. Staff at the primary school in Ashbourne, Derbyshire said they had not been expecting the boy to bring the World War II weapon in for the assembly on Friday morning. Well, no one expects a grenade.
You weren't expecting
that? Head teacher Jeanette Hart said she was unsure if the device was live, so she took it from the boy and slowly placed it behind a, quote, substantial tree in the car park. And the school was, so she to protect it from the blast, she put it behind the tree. Well, what about the squirrels, lady? What about the poor squirrels? Army experts later established the grenade had been safe, but please praise the quick-thinking staff. It was quite an eventful assembly, Mrs. Hart told the BBC. It was going fine, and there was a boy who brought an old bullet case in, which I knew about, but then his friend produced a hand grenade from his pocket that I was not expecting. That would have caused a panic when she realized he was holding a grenade, a family heirloom the boy had picked up without telling his parents. Who keeps a grenade as a family heirloom? Who
Like, I thought it
passes
was
a
weird that
grenade down?
when we met my mom's side of the family in Ireland, that they had kept and passed down through generations a taxidermied otter as a family heirloom. That was so old that its fur had faded to like white. I thought that was weird, personally.
This is like that should not be a family heirloom. That puts a whole new spin on that walk-in scene in Pulp Fiction.
Unless Grandpa, I was thinking of like the guy from Hot Fuzz.
There's this much little junk. Kong.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if that's your grandpa, yeah, I guess it's a family heirloom.
Yeah, people in chair like, Brick, where did you get a hand grenade? Like, it's like, someday this hand grenade will be yours. Thanks, Dad.
And just why was it so readily available to him?
Well, I mean,
they have a picture of the teacher. She looks very nice.
Yeah, she's like, hello. Yes, that kind of looks like one of my elementary school teachers.
Her glasses really need to be adjusted, but she looks very nice.
His family didn't know he took it and were a little taken aback. A little taken aback.
Yeah.
However,
it was entirely innocent. I don't think he ever really knew what it was. So let's just break this down. You have a grenade, which is a family heirloom. The grenade is accessible to your small child. But in light of those things, you never thought to explain to your small child what the fuck it was.
I'm pretty sure he knows what it is. If he's played any video games, he knows what the fuck it is. You know, the thing about this kid is now officially a legend.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
To the day he graduates, they're gonna call him the Grenade Kid. That's him forever. Yeah. Well, last one tonight. This is from Louisiana, and I was just at Lowe's this last week. They had a ceiling fan on sale. I went, ooh, Lowe's has a sale on ceiling fans, and that was when my father just came right out of my mouth. Just
Nash, we're almost 50.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I bought a new hose. It's the shrinking kind, so I don't have to wind it up all the time because I hate that.
This guy bought a trip to jail. Police find naked man in Lowe's display shed with Vaseline and phone. That is a headline. That is a headline.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yes. Slidell police responding to a call at a Lowe's parking lot on Sunday evening reportedly found a naked man inside a shed engaged in lewd behavior. Now, have you ever been out to a Lowe's? They have like these sheds you could buy.
Yeah.
They keep them out front for display purposes.
I often wish I could afford one to retrofit into like a really nice shelter for my feral cats, because that's who I am as a person.
Right. Well, this guy, officers arrived on the scene and began searching the line of sheds on display. It wasn't until the fourth or fifth shed that they located the suspect lying on his back, pants around his ankles, using an open container of Vaseline and an electronic device while allegedly masturbating. They do not say what the device is. Was it a phone? Or was...
What a horrible game of Russian roulette. Here's a row of sheds. One of them contains a man with his dick out. No, thank you.
You don't know which.
I'm good.
With taser drawn, police say the officers ordered the man to pull up his pants and roll onto his stomach to be handcuffed. Police say the man complied without resistance. Well, yeah, imagine how that petroleum jelly is flammable. You don't want to get tased while you got...
but also slippery and your dick is out, so you're not in a position to fight.
Well, you don't want to get tased while you got like petroleum jelly all over your genitals because whoosh, you're like, yeah, you know, you're not going to need a Brazilian anytime soon. Man reportedly admitted to his actions, telling officers he was watching, quote, YouTube at the time.
Either you're lying or that's so much worse. Yeah. Oh, I was watching Miss Rachel.
Dude, Miss Rachel got enough problems right now. She don't need your shit.
Yeah, she does. The world is hard enough on that poor lady. Can you imagine if the end of the story was like, he was watching a show called Radio Day?
No, I don't. No. Fuck you. No.
Statistically speaking, and I hate this before the words even escape me, statistically speaking, somebody has jerked off to our show. Now, whether it's to you or to me or to just the stories or just Lord the cats, who knows? Statistically speaking, that is a thing that has happened, and that's just a reality we have to live with. You're welcome.
No, I'm not. That is just...
Somebody in the chat's going to be like, yeah, I have.
Now, here's something I will... You know how YouTube has got, like, you put on a playlist and it just goes on and on and on, right?
Yeah.
Someone's definitely been fucking with us in the background. Just because they left the YouTube on and just... So... I wonder which one of us was throwing off the rhythm is the question. It's like, damn it, shut up, I'm almost there. Anyway. So what have we learned this week?
I am a horrible, evil feminist, so of the two of us, I'm probably the bigger boner killer.
So what have we learned this week? We've learned that Lowe's is not a good place to jerk off. Why do we have to say that? It's not. Why? What? Of all the places you could be jerking it, the Lowe's.
Like, we've done There's Nothing Sexy at the Walmart.
Lowe's is even less sexy. Like, there's quite literally... Yeah. There's like,
at least Walmart has, like... At least Walmart has, like, bras.
Right. Lowe's has got, like, chicken wire. I mean, the fuck?
Yeah.
We've learned that maybe you don't want to keep a grenade unattended in a house with a small kid. Don't. The kids, if you leave a kid...
I didn't know we needed to learn that, honestly.
If you leave a kid near a grenade, inevitably, those two elements are going to combine. We've learned that maybe, if you're going to commit a robbery, take the money, not the meat. Money, not meat.
I don't know that I agree.
We've learned you can't just make up an imaginary driver when you crash your car. Unless it's a Tesla, then you can just blame it on the car. Just blame it on the car.
Fuck's sake. Right.
We have learned that most people, if they watch a movie and try to emulate, some crime they see, it's going to go horribly badly. But some people, some brave souls are smart enough to pull that shit off. And I salute
Some
them.
people are going to make Vin Diesel look like a fucking moron.
I hope they never catch the rest of them. Yeah, it's just, you earned that shit. That was some good night's work. And finally, we have learned, just get your kids the condoms on the down low, because one way or another, they are gonna, and, you know, some of them will figure out how to use a shotgun before they figure out how to use a condom. That's America.
Ain't that America? Ain't that America?